to your October 2024 astrology. I'm your Cosmic Girl 101. Thank you for return subscribers and supporters of the channel. I appreciate you so much for returning and continuing to listen into the monthly transit reports for you. And all newcomers, welcome to Cosmic Girl 101 YouTube channel. I am a Hellenistic Western tropical astrologer. Your ruling planet this month, Sagittarius rising, being Jupiter. Jupiter is the lord of your chart, rules your first house, goes into a retrograde all the way up until the 4th of February. So you've got a long retrograde happening, your ruling planet now slowing down this month. You are a Yang, mutable fire rising sign. We have our second eclipse. There's lots of changes going on with the planets. Let's get into it. Sagittarius rising. Neptune and Saturn are still retrograding in Pisces, and this is your 4th house, Sag rising. Saturn goes direct next month on November 15, and then Neptune stations to go direct on December 7. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus, your 6th house, and goes direct on January 30 of 2025. So the big news astrologically for the slower planetary transits, on the 9th of October, your ruling planet Jupiter now stations to go into a retrograde in its detriment sign of Gemini. This is your 7th house. It's an angular part of your natal chart, so super important to know what's happening in your angles in your natal chart, but no less your ruling planet when it's transiting there. So you have a slowing down happening with your ruling planet in your 7th house. You may start to do some restructuring. You may start to decipher what's working and what's not with those 7th house topics of agreements, contracts, relationships, your partnerships, the house of marriage, the house of rest and enjoyment. So your ruling planet transiting there now retrograde all the way up until February 4 of 2025. And the next big news of the solar planetary transits, on the 11th of October, Pluto now stations to go direct in the sign of Capricorn for you, Sag rising. This is a welcome change indeed, with this planet now stationing to go direct, being Pluto, in your 2nd house of finances, assets, resources, your possessions. This is a house where you accumulate skills, niche skills that support you and build character. Pluto now stationed to go direct on the 11th of October. A massive transition and changes, no doubt, for you in that 2nd house since 2008. But this is it now for Pluto. Pluto will be ingressing into Aquarius next month, and you will be more than certain about your direction moving forward connected to those 2nd house topics. Well done, you Sagittarius rising. You have endured for a very long time with Pluto in your 2nd house of finance. Now, moving on. The sun for the first 3 weeks is transiting in the full zodiac sign of Libra. This is your 11th house. So the first 3 weeks, you've got that sun in your 11th house shining a light on what's working and what's not when it comes to your friendships, your dreams and goals for your future, beneficiaries and allies that support your career and your professional life, your name on the stage. This house is a very social house where we connect with groups and different societies and associations that we connect with of free will. We have a meeting of minds, if you will. The people and faces and places in the 11th house is a very social connection, but we enjoy this space. There is something about the 11th house that has a sense of optimism, fun, and it is very, very social. But you have the sun in a zodiac sign it doesn't enjoy being in, so there may be a reduction in connecting with friends. There's a slowdown, or there's changes going on with your friends and allies when the sun is transiting here in the 11th house. On the 13th, the Sun trines a retrograde Jupiter, your ruling planet, in Gemini, your 7th house. This could be a reconnection with benefactors that help you with your career. A new contract will come across your table, a new offer. You could also see a friendship turn into a relationship, or a relationship that was a friendship that turned into a marriage could now have a turnaround or a change going on there. There could also be a day, this could also be the day where you enjoy reconnecting with friends that you haven't connected with for some time, or sadly say goodbye to some friends or allies that have been part of your journey up to date. When the Sun in full in Libra trines Jupiter in detriment in Gemini, your ruling planet, you may be saying goodbye to significant relationships or contracts. If there are contracts that do come across your path that have a sense of optimism regarding your career and your professional life, read the fine print is the astrological advice. On the 14th, the Sun is squaring Mars in Cancer. Your 8th house, Mars, is in its debilitation sign in fall in Cancer. This is your house of shared resources and finances. There could be a blip here with friends, allies, professional allies, groups or societies, or even social events you're connected to. Hit a snag. There could be a financial dispute. There could also be a partner that is connected to you, be it intimate or business, having trouble with getting support or financial returns on investments. Could be a tricky day on the 14th of October. Then on the 22nd, the Sun ingresses into Scorpio, that watery yin fixed zodiac sign Scorpio till November 21st. And this is your 12th house of the things unseen and behind closed curtains. The 12th house, there's lots of things going on in all the houses in the natal chart, but the 12th house, let's go over that for you, Sagittarius rising. We are talking about hospitals, institutions, psychiatric wards. It's the house where we recover by going on pilgrimages. We go on holidays. We take a time out. We go to a retreat. We go to an ashram and just rejuvenate, get back into our spiritual, esoteric practices. It's a house of self-undoing, self-sabotage. It's a house of hidden enemies. It is the house that is connected to all things that we enjoy doing, but eventually come back to haunt us or end up being a rod for our backs because we've been doing things out of the limelight. And when the Sun is transiting here, it may be hard to miss what all the delusion is, or what we've been skimming over the surface with. What we have been concealing could now be revealed from the 22nd of October to November 21st. So if you've been trying to keep things on the down low or trying to accomplish things with the 12th house topics, the Sun here will certainly light it up for you to address any chronic issues, or just trying to get some life force back into things that you want to develop privately with yourself. And that could be spiritual practices, for example, or getting on top of an addiction, for example. The Sun can help, but it's in in Scorpio. And Scorpio can wear many hats and can run very deeply. So you could be trying to uncover deep secrets or deep psychological spaces that you may not have developed or known about yourself, and something sort of comes to the surface for you, Sagittarius rising. Could be quite disruptive and powerful and very emotional with that Sun in Scorpio in your 12th house. So a very interesting transit coming up for you indeed. On the 2nd of October, we are having the second eclipse now, and this is a new moon solar eclipse happening in your 11th house of friends, benefactors, dreams, goals, and aspirations for your future. groups and allies. It's the house of social events, and we have something changing now where there can be an abrupt ending that brings in a new beginning with those 11th house topics. On the 17th of October, we then have that full moon in Aries, your 5th house of joy and pleasure. This is the checking in point. We're seeing how you're tracking in regards to those new beginnings or endings that occurred on the 2nd of October. And it is in Aries, it's quite fiery and passionate. So we want to be able to keep our diplomatic hats on, be cool, calm, collected, be the cool cat, be the controlled one, not the out of control one, when it comes to expressing something from your heart connected to the 5th house of joy and pleasure, whether that be children, creative pursuits, investments, gambling, romance, romantic partners, the house where we get our adrenaline pumping. So the full moon here is like high octane, authentic, deep expression. But if there is something that's passionately rubbing you the wrong way, or you feel you need to make a quick escape, this could be the day that you do it, or have the potential to recalibrate and adjust those contracts that you began on the 2nd of October. Venus, the planet that is the great attractor, she's transiting in your 12th house of Scorpio in her detriment sign until the 17th of October. Venus in Scorpio is very much about white knuckling what she loves and wants to covet and keep to herself. So Venus here in the 12th for you into the 17th, Sagittarius rising, will have you hyper vigilant about resources and relationships and what you find near and dear to your heart. You may find it very difficult to not express yourself if you've been trying to control your spending habits, or there's been some issues with relationships. This could be the transit where things can start to unravel and bubble to the surface to be dealt with once and for all. On the 8th of October, Venus trines Mars in Cancer, your 8th house of shared resources and assets. So what's easier on this day is to have some frank conversations about money and relationships, or see a return of investments or new ways to move forward with your finances. On the 14th, Venus opposes retrograde Uranus in Taurus, your 6th house. So Venus is opposed to no movement or no change regarding the 6th house topics of the day-to-day, co-workers, your job, sickness and illness, services, anything to do with pets. Venus is opposed to Uranus not making any changes or having any movement or a sense of liberation or freedom. So what you could be dealing with here is a restriction with relationships and financial restrictions. So take it easy on the 14th of October. On the 17th, Venus ingresses into Sagittarius, your first house, until November 11. Venus in the first is the great attractor. You're more attractive, you're attracting more money, more attention, and you're certainly going to be in the spotlight in regards to the apple of someone's eye. If you are single and ready to mingle, this transit will have you being a human magnet. And you may also potentially be aware of the need of more love and nurturing for yourself connected to intimate romantic partnerships. But I would also have a very strong astrological prediction for you, Sagittarius rising, that money will be on your mind and may want to invest in something aesthetic for yourself. Mercury, our personal planet of travel, intellectual pursuits, socializing. It's the planet of finance. It's the planet that likes to connect as much as Venus does. Well, Mercury, opening up the month until the 13th, is transiting in Libra, your 11th house, and on the 6th of October, squares off with Mars in Cancer, your 8th house. This is a financial hiccup or a social faux pas that doesn't end well regarding financial exchanges or contracts with yourself or a partner that's connected to groups or friends. Difficult day to navigate on the 6th. On the 8th, Mercury trines your ruling planet Jupiter in its detriment sign of Gemini, your 7th house. What's nice here is a contract landing, but know the fine print and the detail before you sign on the dotted line. Enter into anything contractual, because only the next day your ruling planet Jupiter goes into a retrograde until February 4 of 2025. Anything financial or transactional should be dealt with and looked at with a fine-tooth comb. On the 13th, Mercury ingresses into Scorpio, your 12th house, until November 2nd. Mercury will have his forensic glasses on and being very Sherlocky about knowing details and wanting to get seriously intimate about your financial states, what you do behind the scenes, where you travel, who you're talking with, and maybe feeling a little bit caged when Mercury is transiting that 12th house of things unseen. If you're planning travel or planning to take a trip away, this could be favorable, but for some reason, money is going to factor into your sense of pleasure and a quick escape. On the 30th, Mercury opposes retrograde Uranus in Taurus, your 6th house of the day-to-day, sickness, services, pets, co-workers, your work. This is where Mercury is really not content with Uranus not creating any movement or freedom or changing. So something frustrating to navigate on the 30th regarding finances, contracts, communication. Something's not lining up on the 30th. So take it easy, Sagittarius rising. On the 31st of October, happy Halloween if you celebrate it. Mercury then trines retrograde Neptune in Pisces, your 4th house, and this is an angular part of your chart. It's the subterranean part of your chart that's very private to you. This is your home, your family, parents, parenting, real estate and property concerns, ancestry. It's your lineage, your heritage. This is the 4th house topics. So Mercury, which is all about communication, finance, and taking action, trining retrograde Neptune could see you taking a nice retreat at home, taking a break, or moving away from the home to do you. If there is any financial aspects connected to things from the past that influence your home, real estate, or family dynamics, this is the day where you can iron out nuances quite organically. Mars is transiting in its full zodiac sign of Cancer, your 8th house of shared resources and finance, until November 3rd. So Mars in Cancer is very protective and can be very acute at cutting things away and being very fiery and rambunctious when it comes to shared resources and finances in that 8th house. But you can also develop new skills and strategies on how to develop more wealth for yourself or get out of any debt or binds that are weighing you down also. So it's how you utilize Mars to your advantage, if you can use the planet at all. But Mars is very strategic and can really navigate some tricky terrain. It's going towards a goal. So this is what you're trying to do with Mars in the 8th house, is get on top of financial debts, settlements, tax, inheritance, insurances, any contractual agreements financially. This is what you're feverishly trying to get on top of or eliminate yourself from. On the 24th, Mars sextiles retrograde Uranus in your 6th house. So this looks nice for a contract or a settlement regarding work, services, anything to do with taxes or debts connected to your work or your day-to-day routine. This is where you can see an agreement come to pass or finances landing that are favorably helping you on the day-to-day, but improve your assets and resource house. On the 28th, Mars trines retrograde Neptune in Pisces, your 4th house. Wonderful. This is like finally paying off a mortgage or getting the resources to refinance, redecorate, do something nice for the family on the 28th of October. On the 31st, which is Halloween, the moon is in full in the sign of Scorpio and it's waning in its moon cycle. Your 12th house of endings and things behind the scenes is trining Mars in Cancer, your 8th house of shared resources, assets, and your own wealth. What I like about this day astrologically is finally putting a financial dispute to bed, or something that's been archaic or dragging on behind the scenes for a very, very long time now settles, and there is peace and calm moving forward. Can have a bittersweet element connected to this day, to be transparent, but at least something is closing out. Stay cosmic, Sagittarius rising. I trust you have a fabulous month. Ways to support the Cosmic Girl YouTube channel: subscribe, like, share, comment, hit the bell notification. This all helps expand the channel and reach astrology enthusiasts such as yourself. You can also book a reading with your Cosmic Girl, and you can also scan this QR code on your screen to send through a donation, which would be greatly appreciated. Until next month, Sagittarius rising, stay cool. It's eclipse season still, so take a beat, do what you need to do, and always live your bliss. Take care.